Holy cow, I look red today. What's up, guys? Told y'all I would be on here by myself to talk, like as community requested. What's up, Chill Rock, Annette, and Sherry? I see y'all in here. I know I started a little bit earlier than I usually do. I'm usually waiting about 7 minutes. I don't know. I think it might be a sunburn. Well, I mean, you can see, look. It's my sunglasses. But, and when I laugh, I turn, like, completely tomato colored, which is kind of interesting. And I'm not used to being on here by myself. So, what's up, Jared? Actually, the intention of all of this is so that I can talk to the chat. I just realized, like, there's, like, a towel or something over here, which is, like, okay. But no, so I can talk to you guys, because a lot of times I'm talking to guests and I don't get a chance. And I feel like I don't know how to put that. Like, I feel like I'm not connecting with the chat as much as I want to sometimes. For better or for worse. So I figured I would go. I had an Instagram live that we're not going to talk about. What's up, Sack Juggalo? What's going on? I had an Instagram live that we're not going to mention anymore. And in it, people asked me if I would consider going live so that people could ask me questions or just talk or whatever. So I'm here. And what's up, TD Freelancer, Bridget, Big B? Nice, you changed your name. That's awesome. And I actually turned the bigger light on. I'm trying to get better lighting. So y'all tell me if you can hear me, if you can see me. I'm going to try and keep my face this way so you don't see that. But I feel silly because I'm used to having like a back and forth. And there's a delay. And I'm aware that there's a delay. So I know that things that I say and the things that the chat says are going to be a little bit delayed. But such is streaming life. Yeah, I am on camera, Sack Juggalo. Definitely. I don't get on camera very often, but I've been really working on consistently doing it. Put myself out there a little bit more. I keep shaking the camera, but I had to wear my jersey again because it's super awesome. You know. This is elsewhere. Oh, and my camera, look at me. I'm actually not mirrored. That's awesome. But, yeah, Sherry, you get on camera. Sack Juggalo gets on camera. A lot of people do. Yeah, it's cool. Look, and I showed them last night, but I don't think you were in here. Wait, I'm in quartz. It's got my name on the back. So, it's pretty cool. It's the same company that Truth Pushes that he's partnered with or sponsored by or however that works. So I got mine in pink and white and black, and it's comfy, and the towel's driving me crazy. Let's like ignore that. We'll blame the cat for that. And I did have questions on Instagram, a couple of them, which I will answer, but not yet until they get in here. It took you 11 years to do it? Yeah, it's been since January. People keep pushing me to do it. Not everything people push me to do am I going to do. But for something like this, I mean, I think by this time y'all know what I look like. You've seen pictures, you've heard me talk, you have a pretty good idea of who I am. So, like, if you're shocked now, I don't know what to tell you at this point. But the other thing is that I also kind of want to touch just a little tiny bit on some of the past guests and a couple, you know, cool shout outs and things of that nature. The crown is distracting. It's catching my eye. It's bouncing. I figured it was appropriate though, because if you're in the Discord, you know that I'm Queen Cat in there, so I thought it would line up correctly. But anyway, we've had a lot of cool people on lately, to be honest. a lot of cool people since the beginning. Like, funny. You're funny. Um, but no, like, since the very beginning, we've always had really cool guests on. People have really um, graced me with the ability to talk to people who, I don't want to say they're above my level, because I see most people as peers. Um, but they could have gone anywhere else and they chose to come hang out with me. Same with the community has all chosen to hang out with me. And I am grateful every single day for that. That's why I try to be consistent and come bring something at least every week for people to be here. And there's Fiona. What's up, sis? Um, but yeah, we've had some really cool people on. We got more people lined up coming. Some people have said, hey, I can't right now, but when I get an opportunity, I'm definitely going to lock in. So, you know, it's just trying to get myself to a point where I can be consistent and where I can have good, it looks nice, you know. Maybe when I get rid of this, that would help. Alicia, hello. There's Wolf. What's up, man? By the way, huge, 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 huge shout out to Wolf, who without him I would not have, it would not look the way it does. It would not, I wouldn't have my thumbnails. He's a graphics genius. He's a producer. Does instruments. He sings. He does all kinds of stuff. He's kind of a jack of all trades. And he's really awesome at what he does. So I appreciate everything you do. And every time I'm like, oh, well, this person might come on, he's on it right as soon as he can. Never gets mad about it, is never salty about it, never complains, and always helps me out. So that means the absolute world to me. I appreciate you, man. He is a vital part of everything that I do, because, like I said, it wouldn't look this badass without him. And, of course, shout out to Sarah, who's not here yet, for designing my logo, as well as most of my merch and emojis in the server. So I can't salute right, I'm sure. But yeah, like I said, tonight I figured, first off, just in case people were wondering, in case you saw it in the Discord, Cliff Beats was scheduled originally to be today, like earlier during the day, but he actually had a wedding to go to, so we rescheduled him for next Saturday. So he will be here then. Next Saturday, Cliff Beats is returning to the podcast. And I don't think I don't have Friday scheduled, which I'm not crying about. I just came off of month-end week, which is, for me, everybody who's in the server, everybody that knows me knows how obnoxious it is for me and how many hours I work. And then my kids are like, Mom, you know? So I'm finally done. I finished that today. That's over with for the month until 2-3 weeks from now. So then I get to do it all over again. So generally, if you guys notice the ebb and flow, because I'm doing it all myself, all of the scheduling, all of the reaching out, networking, talking to people, trying to find cool people to bring on, I do it all on my own. I meant to mute myself before I coughed, but I got my timing wrong. The ebb and flow is basically when I get month end, I've already done scheduled for a couple weeks out. If you haven't noticed, they start to build up. That way I don't have to deal with any of that. And then once I'm done with month end, which is today, I'm going to start reaching out to people that I haven't locked in yet. Somebody that's coming is obviously Cliff Beats. I've got Just Business coming on. There's going to be 1 or 2 people that have been on before that are coming back. I have some pretty big ones that have said they want to, but they're kind of like, I'm trying to nail them down a bit, I guess. Let me think. There's one, shout out to Elijah Kyle. He says he's turning down all interviews and ciphers right now. He just can't swing it with all the stuff going on with him. But he says once he frees up some time, he's already offered to come on. He's going to let me know. So, no, I don't deal with quarters. It's just every month. And I went from complaining about one day that I stayed for like 15 hours to do all this work in one day. And I was like, oh my God, I hate this, right? Now I have a whole week that I work 12-hour days. So that's what I get. That's what happens, right? Grass is always greener until it's not. So, but I get to work from home 100%, so that's a plus. You guys can't see it, but like I'm touching. That's my two. I was saying it last night. Like I have my streaming, like the big monitor, and my laptop right in front of it, and then I have two screens here that I turn like this, and those are my two work screens, and then I open them up for my streaming. So I'm kind of like boxed in right now. Well, sure, I went from one day a month of like 12 to 15 hours at least to a week of 12 hours a day. So, I mean, overtime's great, but, you know, and then what happens is I screw myself because I overbook those weekends. So then I get off 12 hours and I immediately go to stream. So I get off at dinner, talk to my kids, go straight into getting ready to stream. I stream, get off there, put my kids in bed, go read a book, and then I'm wired until 2 in the morning, and then I wake up at 5. So it's my own fault. But yeah, that's kind of how that works. Let's see. Who else? I got that hater the other day. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Please boost my algorithm, please. And now today, there was one that followed up on a comment I made on Mises' new song. And, we're saying some really nice things. What's up, Mrs. Traumatos? How you doing, sis? But then they jumped onto one of my community posts, and they posted something like Dusty. I mean, are you like looking at my fan? You're saying I need to like clean my fan? I'm not quite sure. It's all good. Please comment. Please feel free to comment on my community posts. I don't care what you say. I'm going to leave it there because you're only going to help me. You're only going to click on it and you're only going to give me a comment and you're only going to make my algorithm go higher for what it's worth. So, appreciate that. Bring them. Let me think. Yeah. I know I'm someone when I have a hater. They always say that. They say, you're doing something right because I'm not. What's up, Skulls? What's up? I was waiting on you to come here before I answer that question. I'm not here to like parrot anything. I'm not here to do what everybody else is doing. Some people have the same type of format where it's called, like the Shaky Vibe podcast. Obviously, you guys figured that out. We were talking about it last night. They have a conversation type podcast. They started off like trying to do interviews, and then now they've transformed it completely separate from what I'm doing. Like we weren't even linked up at the time, so it's not like we were bouncing off each other. But they do like conversations. So it's not just me that does it. I think Sack Juggalo, he does ask a lot of questions. Some people play people's music, which I don't do. Just because that's another screen I gotta figure out. I'm just now getting on camera, so like I'm a little bit behind. Let's see. I don't do what everybody else does. That's my intention, is not to. I also am more welcoming of some opinions that other people are not. Some people are very, they're in their own lane. And they don't want to get out of their own lane, and that's okay. That's their choice. I welcome opinions I don't agree with because I want to hear why you think that way. I don't want to argue with anybody, but I'd love to know. Why not? I like to bring on people that aren't just artists, so I've branched off of artists. You guys have obviously figured that out. Off of artists, I've had like the admin for the Hog Facebook group. I've had authors on. What's up, Backwoods Logan? Appreciate you swinging through, man. Let's see. Because I think the intro, it's like, reactors, content creators, producers, musicians, artists, authors, anybody that creates content or is hustling and making moves and doing their own thing and promoting themselves and out there killing it, whether they're killing it or they need to just a couple people to be seen, and maybe they could be killing it, but they actually have talent, they actually have drive. I'm all here for that. Mom, hi Mom. Mom, look, there's a towel over here and I can't make it go away. It needs to magically disappear. Like, poof. See, there it's gone. And I don't know why, when it got there, and I'm really mad. So, and honestly, my mom is amazing, and she has done a lot for myself and my kids, for our family. What's up, Diesel Fuel? My mom, I don't know where I would be without her. I'm not gonna lie. We're really, really close, and she has saved my ass plenty of times in my lifetime. And now, in case anybody didn't know, I moved recently. I moved in with my mom, with my kids. So, we're now shacking up together. You know, we cook dinners together. We hang out. Like, I work from home and she's retired, so we get to talk all day. It's fun. She helps me with the girls, you know. She helps me keep my sanity, which I really desperately needed. So, I can't even articulate how thankful I am to have her in my life. And to anybody out there that could have had her in their life and decided that, you know, they had better things to do, haha, fuck you. So, anyway, just putting that out there. Another special shout out, of course, Annette is, I've known her since I was, I think, 16. And I was going to say, she is the oldest friend that I've ever had. That's not true. I actually ran into my friend that I've known since 3rd grade. And we've been talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. So it's really cool to have people from different places in my life. But Annette has stuck with me from the moment I met her. And when everybody else dropped off, fell by the wayside, she stuck through. And she's always been there. She's one of those that you cannot talk to for 3 years and then call and it's like it was yesterday. So, y'all ever want some dirt on me? Wait. There she is in the chat. Just hit her up. I'm actually asking the other one. There. I'm sending her a message on Instagram. You shouldn't drop to number 2. I'm just saying I've known someone longer. However, I know her better. You know. And technically, my mom knows me better. So, you know. But, trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to bring up. I mean, obviously, what is he yelling for you, Mom? Is he meowing? I mean, you guys can let him in. If somebody will come pick up this towel, they can let him in. Because this is killing me right here. I can't take it. The whole purpose of this, like I said, I'll reiterate, the entire purpose of me doing this tonight was because the community asked me to. A couple people specifically asked if I'd consider doing it, and I said, well, of course. And it's to let people ask me stuff, because people are like, well, nobody asks you stuff, because I always talk to other people, I'm highlighting them, I'm bringing guests on. If there's stuff you want to know, let me know. A couple questions were put up on Instagram, which I'm going to answer in a few minutes. I think... Hold on. Will you get that towel? You see it? Get the towel. No, not that. Right there. Pick it up. Get it. Just, thank you. Put it anywhere but there. And shut the door. Thank you. It's magic. Just disappeared. What book am I reading right now? It's a good question. I actually finished a book 3 minutes before I started the podcast. Purposefully, I was almost running late because of it. The Stalking Dead is what I was watching. It's telling me that I need to go to the next book. That's what it means right there. So that's book 1. not bad. Not a bad storyline. Interesting, different, you know. And now Freddy gets to make his appearance. But anyway, I'm always reading, and actually I went through like 4 books today, but only because I like 2 of them I didn't want to see. I was like, this is lame, and I stopped reading. I don't care. With camera. With camera. Oh, whatever. Jerk. Down. I didn't read all of the books that fast. I actually started reading, I was finishing up reading one, and I was like, I'm kind of over the plot for today. It wasn't where my brain was at, maybe. I started one, and I was like, wow, this is really stupid. I didn't like it. And so then I went to this book, and I finished it today. So I read fast just because I don't skim. Once I start getting into a story, I can read like sentences in one glance. It's kind of like, I used to tell my kids that a stop sign, you won't have to say S-T-O-P, stop. S-T-O-P. You'll just see the word stop and know what it means. It's kind of like how I read sentences. So, yeah, my mom knows I'm a... Would you stop? Stop. Get away from me. But, let's see what else. I don't have superpowers. I actually blow off a lot of stuff to read. It's a bit ridiculous. And is it ironic that I'm going to have meowing in the background? Stop. He's right here. You can't see him, but he's literally right here. Harassing me. Okay, so I'm actually going to get to some of the questions because I didn't get tons, which I'm okay with. I'd rather you guys ask me now if I catch him. If I don't spam them, but you can... I have to get up and feed him. If I wouldn't get up and get the towel, I'm not going to get up and feed him. He can wait. The 2 questions that I had, the first one actually was asking how I met Skulls and kind of what drew us together, like what drew me to him, why we even bothered getting to know each other. And I know... Oh, Mom, I see that. You know, I might have to write these down so I don't forget. Because I'm going to feel like a jerk if I forget. I actually have an answer for that, Mom. Actually, I have 2 answers, and there's a reason for it. I have 2. So I've written that down. Technically have one that turned into a different one and then a second one. But anyway, so stop. My God. My mom hears me yelling in my room because he's harassing me. Okay. How did I meet Skulls? That one's a pretty easy one. When I first started on YouTube, it was early spring-ish of 2021. I'd never been on YouTube. The first reactor that I ever subscribed to was Cliff Beats. Most people know this story. I was going down... Hi, Christina. I was going down the list, right? So basically, y'all know that I rock with Tom McDonald. I rock with Hangover Gang. Love, love, love Nova. I love, love, love Brandon. So I was going down the Tom rabbit hole. So y'all know what that means if you mess with reactors at all. You find somebody who does a good Tom reaction, and then you go down the list. And you watch all of them from the first time they ever heard of him through all the songs, and it's a lot of fun. So I had caught Skulls. He did a reaction. I think I was on a binge of No Response. And so I happened to just run into his because I'd gone down the list and seen a bunch of people. What's up, DK? Long time no see, my friend. Good to see you. So I caught his No Response. And he was articulate, you know, it was interesting. It was somebody different. I'd never seen a reaction of his before. And his camera was driving me crazy. Because it was an autofocus, pretty much. And so throughout the video, it was like pulsing. And I'm like, you're going to give somebody a seizure, bro. And I usually in my comments were like, yeah, I'm here for it. And I would move on. However, on his, I couldn't take it anymore. And I was trying to be constructive and nice. And I was like, hey, your camera is going to like give someone a seizure. For real. And he responded, oh, no, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, it just keeps focusing. I'm like, I know, but it's driving me completely batty. And literally, I don't remember. Skulls, you can fill it in if you can remember. But for some reason, we started talking. And I think I found him on Instagram or something. And we started talking on Instagram, which, by the way, I had just made an Instagram account. I'd never had one before. What's up, Luce? Nice to see you. I'd never had Instagram, so I had nobody on there. And I was like, how do I find people? How do I use it? You know? So I found him. We were talking on Instagram. Just in passing, just conversation about things in general, about, you know. And then I heard his music. Actually, I think the first song was Say Your Piece. And that's all she wrote. That's all it took. I heard that song and I'm like, oh. So I took that song and I went to XMC stream. And I was like, you got to check this out. And he was like, oh, okay. So he checked it out. Skull showed up. I believe he showed up to the reaction. And I kept pushing that song consistently. And then I found some of his other music and I started pushing some of that in different reaction streams. And by the way, I was in a lot of them at the time. A lot. And all I had to do was hit him up and he would show up. He'd come swinging through. And we were talking about stuff like comments. He's like, oh, I try to respond to every single comment. I'm like, enjoy that while you can. Because then last, he's like, no, as long as I can, I'm going to respond to every comment. I'm like, no, you're not. He's like, no, I really am. No, I didn't. Because it would take him hours a day. Hours and hours a day. Yeah, XMC was the first reaction to his music that I'm aware of. Since I knew him, at least. And everyone that heard him has loved his music. And then we started getting into... I was like, you have to get on Discord. You have to get on Discord. You have to push your stuff. You have to promote your stuff, blah, 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 blah. And I got him into the Discord, which I had started at that in June of last year. And everywhere I went, I took him with me. You know, when it came to, like, trying to... We're equals. You know what I mean? Then we would talk all the time. We would just sit there and yap and stuff. And it was good conversation, good time. So we got on the podcast together because I just poked myself in the eye. Because I didn't want to do it on my own. Like, I had a community and I never wanted to be on camera. I didn't want to do reactions. But we would have these really cool voice chats with the community in different servers, but in mine as well. People are like, man, it would be cool if this was like on YouTube. Like, everybody could kind of participate like a podcast, like you guys talk with podcasts, because we had a lot of fun and we would just talk our shit and it was great. And he's my fanny pack. I take him and his White Claw everywhere we go. He's gonna get me for that one. But people were pushing to do the podcast. The first one who ever told me that was Desiree. That was quite a while back. And then I think it was like late December. I was like, what's this button do? Well, we were on a voice chat, and all of a sudden I'm like, hey, we're live. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah. He's like, what? I'm like, what? And that's how it started. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have seen it where it is now. We did the podcast together. He was my co-host for quite a while until like May, June-ish. And he's got a lot of stuff going on with his music. And so I rebranded and, you know, put it on me, which was the intent, which we knew, but not everybody else knew that. He wasn't going to be here forever as a co-host. But any time that either a guest specifically requests, or if he specifically requests, or if we feel like it, he's always welcome. Always welcome. He's got his own place in the Discord. He's got his own rank. He's got his own section. He's got his own street team. So, yeah. There's your answer. I hope that made sense and answered kind of where it came from. What drew me to him is he's just a cool guy, man. He's funny. He's nice. he's very positive, and I'm a very rude, mean, tactless person. So it's nice to have a positive person kind of bounce off of a little bit. He could match my energy, or he could deal with my energy, because I get like that sometimes. And he's got he's he's a dirty birdie too. Don't even let him fool you. You think he's all sweet and nice. Anybody who's played Among Us with us knows better. Um, so yeah, and he was down for everything. He was down, to hang out. He was down to be in the voice chat. He was down. If I send him a message, he always responds to me. He always jumped in when I asked. But I'd say, hey, I pushed your song out there. He would jump in like that. If I say, hey, could you mind swinging through, like that, like no question, you know. You're a fucking angel. Yeah, well, until you sip your White Claw, messes with your emotions. Stay away. I still want a soundboard. I want that on my soundboard. DK, you're funny. So now I'm looking through the comments. I'm going to answer my mom's question, and then I'm going to go ahead and answer the other question that I got, which was about... I'm going to word it correctly. Hold on. He knows it's all love. It's all love. What are the YouTube projects or videos would I like to do? And I actually have an answer for that. Some of them, people like Truth and Skulls are aware. If you guys don't know, Truth and I are very, very close also, as well as Nick. Truth and I talk every single day. Skulls decides to go live his life. And like, for a couple days, I'm like, what the hell? And then... That's funny. For a 6-pack of White Claw, you're going to record that for the soundboard? Bet. It's a deal. I'll just, like, get you to play Among Us. We'll have you drink those, and then you'll get all, like, tipsy off of your White Claw and a half. And you'll play Among Us, and then I'll just record it myself. So there. My mom's question was, if I had any job, if I could have any job, what would it be? And I have two answers. One is a 2-part answer, and the other one is the actual answer, sort of, kind of, at this point in my life. Originally, my favorite thing in the whole wide world is I took a sociology class in college, and I thought it was really cool to know why people do what they do. For example, historical, let's say the 1100s through the 1700s specifically. Yeah, that's not going to happen. You can think that, but it's not going to happen. So, like, if it's like history, right? Why is a romance novel that is talking about lords and ladies and, like, they're not allowed to touch, and why is it so much more, naughty? That it's because you're not allowed to touch, so they wore gloves. So a bear skin would actually mean more. It's like a whole thing. For modesty's sake, but then they weren't that modest. They were kind of crazy. Why were people wearing certain styles? What were they doing if they needed to have this done back in those days? I don't like the current. I don't care about that. But the sociology of it, why people thought the way they thought, how outside it, and their social setting influenced how they acted and what they did and the decisions they made for themselves and their family, etc., etc. Fascinated me. My favorite thing that my sociology teacher told me was there's 2 types of thinking. There's old age thinking, and then there's new age thinking. The old age thinking is kind of how most people at the time, this was, mind you, like 18 years ago. It's more logic-based, rational, stuff like that. New age thinking is your perception is reality. And the difference between old age and new age is old age is saying reality is reality, but we all have our own perception. Okay, so here's reality, and then the way you see it could be different. New age thinking is that what you see is reality, and she says, but then people ask, okay, so what happens What's up, Ty? Infamous Ty in the building. Good to see you, man. So what happens if, for example, my reality and your reality conflict? Completely conflict, okay? And you ask that question. She says, of course you ask that question. Everyone asks that question. And the answer would be, well, you're just thinking the old way. No explanation. Does this sound familiar to anybody in the current social climate? What I'm leading up to is actually my mom's question, which is if I could have any job, what would it be? And I was talking about my sociology experience in college. But so anyway, if that makes any kind of parallels to the current social climate, then ding, 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 you're right there with me. Just that's the reason I don't want to do anything current, but I wanted to research. Like, I would love to research history and why people did the stuff they did, and go through, I don't know, journals or histories and stuff, of all these crazy stuff, right? That's what I always wanted to do, which changed a bit and kind of adapted through personal experiences and just other things. If I could have any job that wasn't, let's take YouTube out of it. Of course, who wouldn't want to be a content creator and do that full time and make money and, just talk to people and resonate with their community and stuff. But who wouldn't want to do that, right? So that's a given. That we're going to take that off the table. What I would do if I could have a job that I really, really wanted to have would be to help specifically domestic violence victims that haven't got out and haven't accepted that they need to get out yet, to help them cope, strengthen themselves, and understand that the perception and the other person's perception are never gonna match, and trying to find that conclusion, that moment where it's like, oh, okay, well, it came to a solid ending. They're never going to get it. And that sometimes you're just not going to get the answers you want. You're not going to get the resolution that you want, which you need what people do. And I've actually helped a couple people through this over the course of the last 15 years or so, who are in really bad relationships, to understand that you can cope even if you're not ready to leave. There are ways that you can de-escalate things, whether you want to or not, to the point where you actually start thinking a little bit about, wow, why do I have to keep doing this? And you stop engaging, and you start, what's the word? Instead of engaging with it, you start hearing it. For example, the people who are really super, and this goes for men and women, that are super argumentative. No matter what you say, they're going to come back, they're going to pick it apart, they're going to go right at you. I actually taught one of my friends from a long time ago how to crochet, right? So she's like, oh, I'm going to crochet. So she's sitting on the couch. Her old man is there squawking at her. And what she would do is she's like, that's not true. That's not the right thing. That's not what I said. That's not what I meant. Da, 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 da. Right? Back, forth. No resolution, and all went to hell. Every day, all the time. And I said, you know what? You sit there and you don't have to stare at him, right? He's pacing and he's mad. She's sitting there crocheting. So she's looking down. He's talking. I said, time your, okay. Let him, because that's all they want. Some of them, not everybody, okay? Certain situations. Talk. So she stopped engaging. I'm not saying she instigated it. I'm saying that she was not helping. Because, of course, she wanted to be heard. Then she started understanding he never really cared what she had to say. It had nothing to do with her. It was all about him. Once she figured that out, she was like, well, what the hell? And once she got in that mindset, she's like, I'm done. She's been happily married to someone. She went back to her hometown, someone she used to know, and has been married for about 12 years to the guy who always wanted to be with her. And her kids are almost grown now and has walked away, So anyway, something like that to help people understand, and to understand that You don't have to be ready to leave in order for someone to help you. Sometimes people just, they're not there yet. But to be able to understand, I don't know how else to say that. Like for someone not to judge you and to hear what's going on and not immediately have to either come save you, which could either make it worse or you're not ready for, but at least give you maybe some coping mechanisms to kind of get through it until you are ready. I think that's really important, and people tend to forget that. They either want to save you or screw you. You are not worth it. So anyway, that's, if I could do anything, that's kind of what I would like to do. But yeah, so that got deep. I went there. All right, Jared, thank you for swinging through. Appreciate it, and give him a hug for me. What's up, Damien? I see you. But yeah, no, I appreciate that, guys. That's just me. That's how I think. I don't always talk like that, but that's how I think. So let's see. Hold on. I just had it right here. There it is. What other YouTube projects or videos would you like to do? I have a lot, actually. There's a lot of things I've actually put out there in the universe that I was thinking I might try. If you think reactions, you can hold your breath. Feel free. It's not happening. I'm not saying at some point it might not come up as something that happens. In the grand scheme of things, maybe I have somebody on and we decide to do something together. Mom, stop spoiling it for me. Oh my God. Stop. That's something that I might consider if it was like a guest and me or something of that nature. Or within context, right? But that's not something I'm not intending to do reactions. One of the things I would like to do, which my mom sort of kind of spoiled, is I'd like to do kind of controversial stuff. Like, I'm not saying, so people always get crazy when I say this, or anyone says this. I'm not saying conspiracy theories necessarily. I'm talking about different people who have different thoughts on different stuff. For example, aliens, people that, I'm not saying like I want to find that person who's been on an alien ship, like the guy from Independence Day. Like, I'm not looking for that. I'm saying people who have a profound way of saying, like, this is possible and here's why. Whether it be an expert or someone who's done a lot of research, or even bringing up videos and stuff like that to kind of talk about. That's one. Like, aliens would be one, for example. Or I really, really want to get a flat earther on here and be like, please explain this to me. Yes, opposing view. Not opposing. Unexpected or different. I just knocked my screen, like, disappeared. And my ring thing just disappeared. Hold on. Let's see it go. There we go. But no, like, for example, I'm completely open to people who think a different way than I do. Right? I'm not saying something completely crazy. Like, I'm not saying we're all ghosts. Okay, maybe I am. We're all ghosts. And we think that we're real, but we're not. Bring it. But tell me why. Don't be like, well, it just sounds right. Like, I don't want to hear that shit. Like, come with something. Right? Something. I would love to have that conversation because I'm interested. I want to know why people think the way that they think. At the end of the day, I don't have to agree with them, and neither does anybody else. But nobody's going to be disrespectful. Nobody's going to be an asshole unless they come out and start, like, cussing us all out. Then fuck them, and I'm going to just boot them off. Stuff like even some conspiracy theories, people who had run-ins with different types of, groups of people that, like, you guys get what I'm saying. That's one aspect of stuff that I would like to kind of think about doing, possibly. I don't have the background for it. I'm thinking maybe going into the conversation with a little bit of research and a little bit of like articles that I could show, like put up on the screen and say, okay, this is where I'm getting this information. What do you guys think? And go from there, and then maybe find guests going forward, right? Might be how I start that. At one point I was considering doing like a chick podcast, for especially people like mental health or domestic, abuse and stuff like that. But then I was like, we'll see. Just because adding another day it's a lot. It's very time consuming for me with my schedule. Right now I bring on guests, so I don't really know how to do that differently. I'm not going to do dance videos. I'm not on TikTok. I don't have any tutorials. I don't do poetry, so I'm not going to sit here and like read you poetry. I don't sing. Oh, I do plan on doing a rap competition. That should be coming up in November is the intention. So I just have to figure out how to narrow it down, because with the amount of people we had interested last time, and now the amount of people I know versus how many I knew then. Like, nobody knew who I was then. But now, I have a feeling there'd be a lot more people entering. So I have to figure out how to narrow it down so it's not like an 8-day long competition. But I plan on doing another one because that one was a lot of fun, and I think everybody kind of enjoyed it. Plus, you can always go back and hear all of their music and see all these cool artists if you ever, get bored. So that's my answer to that question, which was a really good question, and I really appreciated that one because you just never know. Damien, I've heard that as well, and I agree with you. And I actually think that, which I have no room to talk because here I am with my face on the screen on YouTube. Okay, so actively taking a video, we're all about privacy, right? Everybody wants all their privacy. Everybody keeps talking about privacy. That's not your business. That's my business. How dare you? That's not your place. But yet we throw our face, there's no way that any one of us there's going to be somebody who's going to say, don't even bother. I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on TikTok. I'm not on Instagram. I'm not on this. I get it. Maybe not you. But most people, we're literally giving them everything that they need to put together a facial recognition profile. Easy. To put together they could pick our conversations, which, by the way, if you're in Discord, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know who's talking without seeing their screen name if they're typing, because you recognize what they're saying in the way they use words, right? You can hear them through words in their texts. You can see it. So they can pull, people can find you just because of all the amount of texting and talking and posting our pictures. We're giving them our face. We're giving them our thumbprint. We're logging in with our thumbprint, our fingerprint, constantly. Discord is not good for privacy. Not at all. It's not private at all. Every single thing you ever put onto Discord, y'all, it doesn't go away. Like, I understand, like, there are some apps that you can delete your stuff, and they kind of give you like a delete receipt sort of thing. Discord has made it super, super clear that it's all kept. That's how you can reference a message from another message when the other person doesn't have access to it, because it's all in their database and you have no way to mass delete anything. And they've also said that they can use anything that they want to of yours if they deem it necessary. They also can review anything you say in private or public in order to determine whether they're going to let you keep your Discord account. So, I mean, honestly, what's up, Darnell? Discord is not private. Now, the voice chats are more private than the texting. And, but I'm just telling you, there's actually a really cool video if you go onto YouTube and you look up Discord privacy, or like, is Discord private or whatever. There's this guy who talks about it. He breaks it down. He explains it. He explains the people who own it and where their background is and why it's concerning. And what he thinks they're going to probably do is like do a mass dump and sell all the information to a foreign country. Like, give it to someone in China to take over. Do you know what I'm saying? Possibly. That's his opinion. It's on his YouTube. You can go check that out, whether you agree with me or not. That's fine. Let's see. You said good question, Fiona. What did she say? Hold on. I missed it, didn't I? Did I miss it? I'm an asshole. I'm sorry. Okay. If you did ask me a question? Oh my god, it's right there. I'm like scrolling, like, oh my god, I missed it. Where is it at? I can't find it. It's literally 2 messages up. And it's right in the middle of my screen. Sorry. Yes, when you create the account, you give them license to use your data, and there's a difference because a lot of privacy policies, if you read through them, they kind of own everything that you're doing. However, Discord is way more open and accessible, and they are not there to protect your privacy. They don't care. What's up, Willie K? How you doing? Kat, is there one thing or more in your life that you would go back and change or make a different decision if you could? Oh, yeah. Yep. There's your answer. Yes. Many. Why do I always look like I'm leaning forward? There's a question for you. Do you want examples? I assume that's what you're asking. I would have experienced high school the right way. I would have not got my GED at 16. I would have gone through high school and done all that. I would have gone to college, lived in the dorms, got my college degree. You know, I'd have done all that stuff. That's the first, and that would have set my whole life on a different trajectory. So, all right, Sherry, thanks for coming through. Fiona, that's actually a really good point. People see, of course I have kids, right? So one of the first things you say is if I made a decision that would change the trajectory of my life, I wouldn't have my kids. And since I have my kids and I love my kids, I wouldn't do anything different because I don't want to lose out on them. I really think that that question is very specific, and it has nothing to do with what you have now. And here's why. If you were to change a decision back then, what happens now wouldn't exist, right? It's that whole Terminator logic, right? It's the whole Terminator logic. So in that line of thinking, you wouldn't even know what you were missing out on. So if you could change something, would change the trajectory of your life, knowing full and well that anything that you'd be missing out on, you wouldn't know you were missing out on, and it would never have happened, would you still change it? I mean, if you made a change, you wouldn't be in the place that you are, but you could have been somewhere else. And well, who's to say that that wouldn't have been a really amazing place for you to be, right? I mean, you can go round and round in circles with that one. My only follow-up to that would be, you literally can't go back and change the past. So, I remember saying, learn from it, move on. More like, it's done, you know. In my case, it would. It'd be very worth it. Everything it does, I think it happens for a reason. But see, there you go back into that same circle argument that goes round and round and round, right? So, if everything happens for a reason, then do your choices even matter? What you saying? Exactly, Mom. Do you believe in fate? Are you the sum of your choices, or are you the sum of your experiences? Do your experiences happen to you, or do you make moves that make them happen? That's why I don't like that question. That's why I don't like getting into that, because that's where my brain goes. That's how my brain works. That's how it goes into that whole, because you can simple it down and you could say, of course there are things I would change. Of course there are. There are such things that I've done that I regret. There are things that I wish I would have done that I didn't. There are things that I did. I'm like, oh, good God. Traumatic experiences that I would love to have gone down the different path, right? Here's the circle. Then you go into the argument. But do you have anything right now that you would no longer have if you'd have made that different choice? Yes, of course you do. Pretty much everything, right? So then you go to the whole thing, would you still do it? Well, would you know about it? I don't know how else to answer that. I don't even think I gave an answer. I think it was a non-answer, but that's what happens when you just talk to me. This is why I need somebody here to bounce off of. I go a little bit too. And see, that was what I was saying a minute ago. It depends, right? Would I still be me without those experiences? Would I still be the person that I am? Would I still have the basic, maybe I would talk a little bit different because I lived in different places. Maybe my hair wouldn't be quite dyed the same or look the same, or maybe I wouldn't have the same objects, right? Maybe I wouldn't be as jaded. Maybe I wouldn't be as biased. Maybe that wouldn't matter because I had other things that are, my priorities are different. And yes, that's like I said, are you the sum of your experiences? Are you the result of your experiences? Or you're the result of the choices that you made? Or are you just, like I said, it goes round and round. It depends on what your perception is and how you see the world. If things happen to you, or like me personally, I say, I made stupid choices. I shouldn't have done that. And if I could make a different choice, I would, because I'm in control of what I'm doing. What I say, what I do is my choice. So in that case, I'm not a result of my experiences. I am a product of my choices, if that makes sense. Which means that in the future, I'm allowed to control it. I see what you're saying, Fiona. See? I see what you're saying. See, that's the thing. It depends on your perspective. Yeah, DK, they have those. I mean, any really good sci-fi show is going to have an episode that deals with those. Which, The Flash, Supernatural, Warehouse 13, SG-1, on and on and on, right? Where it just splits and splits and splits and splits. Which, of course, could actually be another offshoot of the topic for paranormal, because it's the universe made up of these splits and these alternate parallel timelines. Let's just dumb it down and say timelines. Or is it made up of, this is just who we are and what we did, and we made a choice, and which, there's really only one path for you, right? The path that you chose. What's up, Rude Knock? Appreciate you being here, ma'am. And Aaron, hello. My dream vacation? My dream vacation. Dream vacation. My dream vacation would be an all-inclusive stay somewhere where everything was, like, catered to me. Where, like, anything I wanted to do, I could do. It was kind of all, like, in one package. I mean, Vegas is definitely one, by the way. I do have plans to go in the spring. Jen React should be going with me. So, yes, Mom Sandals, something like that. Alicia, exactly. That's the point. That's the whole point. It depends on your perception, your perspective, and what you believe is true or not true in life, right? Fiona, I'm not coming to visit you. You have spooters the size of my cat. I'm good. Like, Like, you could ride them bitches. I'm not going there. Mom, I told you were coming to... Oh. You just said vacay with me, so... But yeah. Spooters, yeah, spooters. You know, speedy-die, and arachnid. Those. Snake season. Snakes aren't nice either. I don't like them that either, but I would prefer... I prefer none, actually. I don't want to say I want one or the other. I want to say... Nope. See, Mom... You know, people get banned from my server for posting pictures of spiders. You know that, right? It's a rule in the Discord. How's it feel like to have your mom in the chat? Like having her sitting behind me talking? If she... Thank you, Fiona. Honestly, my mom knows me well enough. I think she's figured out. I think I actually am a little bit more better behaved because I don't want to hear about it. But I still think I'm the same. I don't think I'm any different. I might be a little bit better behaved until I know she's not watching. But then she could be because she can hear me from the other room. Right? Or she could just jump on and I wouldn't even know it. Yeah, that's true. Like, it's a hard and fast rule. Like, and people think they're being funny, so they'll post them, and they'll get modded, and they get all mad, and it's like, well, read the rules. I don't know what to tell you. Renat, I appreciate you being here, and I saw your comment about last night. I know you were, but, you know, you were out doing your thing, living your life. Like, come on now. I would never hate on somebody for that, or be like, oh my god, you said you'd be there. How could you? I once had somebody who told me that she cried. She was like, well, you know, they didn't want to listen to me, so I cried at him. And all I could think is the cartoon with the tears that splash out like this. And I'm like, wait a minute, you cried at them? Like, meh. Thank you for the subscription, Domination. I am a little bit intimidated, but I'm here for it. Oh, I know, Willie. Like, they're like one of the most dangerous places to be. They have kangaroos that will whoop your ass. Like, oh, look, it's a kangaroo. Like, no. No. I'm really proud of myself. I've been answering questions. I'm really proud of myself. Why is my hair doing this right now? DK, it was awesome to see you. Thank you for coming through anytime. We missed you, man. You haven't been around as much, but hey, you are always a part of this community, so. No, my mom deserves all the love in the world. She's amazing. And she's got jokes. Exactly. Man, I've seen these pictures of kangaroos, and they're like jacked. They've got like abs for days. They've got like muscles stacked. They look bigger than the Rock. I'm like, oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, this is my screen name. Is actually the name I took after I decided to stop using my previous, like, MMORPG screen name. So, yeah. I was trying to find something and I was sick and tired of trying. I really suck at coming up with names. So I thought, Cat. It's my name. And it wouldn't let me. I'm like, well, of course it won't let me. So I was like, well, Cat 07. I don't want 07. I don't want, like, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, 8675309 or something at the end of my name. So I was like, okay, let's try it. xxKaTxx. xxKaTxx. Got it. Nailed it. And that's how I got my name. Skunks stink. They're not scary. Yeah, we had a big old fight. If anybody remembers the Among Us, one of them, where there was a whole conversation about an emu. Yeah, those. Florida. I used to live in Florida. I was in the middle of nowhere. I was in like rural backwoodsville, which wasn't really my thing, but yeah, well, work in a hospital. There's enough smells there. And actually the sterile smell can get to you too. It'll make you sick. It's weird. You think that super, super sterile would not bother anybody, but some people cannot stand that smell. Australian crocodiles, are those like, is that like the one that has the alarm clock in his stomach and goes after Captain Hook? Where he's like walking around ticking. I scratched him up with my white cloth. That was epic. That was epic. What dangerous animals are there in the States? You know. I was trying to think of a good way to say it. It was supposed to be funny, but then it took me too long, so now I'm just gonna let it go. That one. Let it off into the universe. I was basically gonna say, trying to find a way to say like dumbass criminals who like mess with people and blah blah. But I couldn't think of a funny way to say it, so I just let that one drop. Oh my. Technically, give me next year, y'all. Next year I'll be one. Skulls. Officially? I think officially. I think my mom is one. Mom, are you one? I think you are. Get my mom on camera and ask her questions. Are you a cougar? I'll be 40. I'll be 40 in June. Which, Annette was born the same year as me, so just putting that out there in the universe. You're welcome, Annette. Yeah, cougars are 40 and up. There ain't nothing wrong with 40. That's because you're still a baby, Skulls. Because I love you, and I'm sorry. I realized after I said it, I was like, wow. Yeah, see? My mom's cougar. She said so. I keep trying to make friends that keep trying to date my mom. It's weird. Y'all are silly. And I'm being quiet because I'm reading the chat. Yeah, you do have a year. Net's birthday was just last weekend. Or the other day, actually, the other day. So, she has a full year. I have until June, so. It's true. Mom knows it's true. It's true. She's like, oh, there's a nice person around your age. I'm like, oh. I said, well, I don't know anybody in the area. You know, see if they, like, might be interested in, like, I don't know, hanging out just so I can get to know, and I don't know where, like, I don't know any good places to go, whatever. They're not interested because they want to date my mom. They're like, no, I want you. And she's like, no. It does, no. That's her thing, not mine. She's amazing, though, so, you know, I don't blame them at all. Thank you. Appreciate that, Darnell. The Streamlad's treating you okay? I did the collab cam last night for the first time, and my mom tells me later that we were all kind of pausing a little bit, which they just came out with that collab cam 2 weeks ago. And I figured out how to use it an hour before the stream. So I thought we did pretty good for that. Yeah, it works really cool. It's super simple. If you need, I can help you with that. Not a problem. I'm not going to give a tutorial right now, but it's ridiculously simple. It's so much simpler than I thought it was. Because I was trying to log into it myself, and I screwed everything up. I'm like, what am I even doing? And then I watched a quick little, like, I skipped through to the part that I didn't understand. I was like, oh. But yeah, it worked out pretty good. Yeah, this is a house full of females over here. 3 generations of females. Who's the hottest actor around? Like around my house? What's up? Meow. Meow. I just realized that if you look over here, guys, on the screen in the chat, it says the cat in the box is called Shelter In. Is that like part of the whole hand sanitizer, cough in your elbow, YouTube theme? Thor. Mom likes Thor. Who's the hottest actor around? I don't actually. Hand to God, I don't watch TV. I generally don't watch movies. So I couldn't even tell you who current, like anybody that was like from the 90s, 2000s, I might know who those celebrities and actors are, but Alethea, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for swinging through. I really do. Thanks for participating. It's just me. Jensen, yeah. No. I'm not a fan of Jensen. I'm a fan of Dean. Dean. I'm here for Dean. Like, any day. And there was one other one. But I don't remember his name, so he doesn't count. Yeah, I do everything like on my phone. I don't even use my laptop hardly ever. See, Jensen Ackles is like the actor who like now shaved his facial hair and looks like really odd when people are posting pictures of him. But Dean Winchester, not Sam, because Sam always, every time he talked, he would pause and like breathe out. Irritated me. And he's the reason that Supernatural had to end, because he wanted to go do other things. What's up, Champagne Rain? How you doing? I'm playing with my cup right now because I'm like trying to... I'm nervous now because I don't have like active questions that I can like ramble on about, so... He's the cute one, Mom. The one who likes pie. I'm not sure either. He's the shorter one, Mom. He's actually in real life, he's not that short. They both have dark hair. He's the older brother, the one that's more like rock and roll. Sam's the sensitive one. Well, because I don't remember his name. He's chopped liver. Yeah, pretty much. That's Sam. No, Mom, that's the other one, not the taller one. The one who, yes, he drives baby. Yes. Busty. My favorite episode is I always love shows. The Groundhog Day episodes are like my favorite. Stargate SG-1. By the way, um, the guy who plays the main guy in SG-1. I give up. I give up. Jared Padalecki was Sam. We're talking about Dean, because Sam is like the guy who played Richard Dean Anderson. Is that his name? Richard Robert. Anyway, the guy who plays Jack in Stargate SG-1. Especially when he was younger. He played, what was he, MacGyver? I like him. Nailed it. Nailed it. So, do you guys, honestly, do you have any questions? Do you have any comments, suggestions, comments? I'm open for it. I will take constructive criticism. My current progress, where do I see myself in 5 years? Never leaving my mom's house at this rate. Yeah. Love you, Mom. Can't wait. Just saying. Turtle, if you want a White Claw, Skulls has them. You just ask him for it. It's cool. We won't judge you. No, in 5 years, I don't know how specific you want me to get. If you just mean in general, reality versus where I want to be in 5 years are two completely different things. I'm a realistic person. So I might talk all kinds of cool stuff. I might like really say this is where I want to be, this is what I want to do, all this stuff, but when in reality sometimes shit just doesn't work out. So if it comes to like, jeez, hold on. I'll probably be working a job. My intention is to make sure that I'm working a job from home. Hopefully, my mom and I have a business. We're hoping to do that at some point. Hopefully, we can get it up and running in the next 5 years. Easy. I don't think that's unattainable at all. I'd like to still be doing this within my, as long as it's still in my schedule, as long as my family's my priority, and I'm taking care of business, and I'm making money, and I'm saving, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing for my future. You know, because real life is better more than online. At any point in time, I don't care who you are, if you have real life shit you need to deal with, don't you ever push that off to be here, to be anywhere. Take care of you and yours, absolutely, first and foremost. Take care of yourself first, honestly. So, but take care of you and yours. So as long as all that stuff is being taken care of properly, then I'll still be here doing something. I don't think I'll be at 500 subscribers. I don't think I'm going to stay around 500 to 600 subscribers for very long. But yeah. Peach whiskey. I like peach moonshine. Yeah. Mom, do you know what Zima is? It's the new Zima. It's like it's like somebody took the pop syrup out of the drink and then like splashed some alcohol from a distance and didn't make it all in there, and then people are like, this is getting me really drunk. What's that? Oh, did you? Right? That was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Skulls, you know what Dr. Pepper is. Don't even play with me. My mom obsessively drinks Dr. Pepper. She loves it. I don't blame her. Really? I certainly hope not. I don't think I will, because I've actually been... My 400 to 500 was painful. But I've actually hit, I just lost one tonight. Somebody I know, though, so that's kind of funny. The one who, like, who signed up to because of, Shakes and Ray, which is fine. If they don't want to stay, they don't have to. We have enough people that we're subscribed to, so you have to narrow it down. What's up, 15th Bend? Good looking out. Saw you last night. What was I saying? Oh, but yeah, I actually I hit the 500 and I've got 540 at this point, which is 541 actually, I think, without looking. So that transition took less time than from 4 to 5. So we'll see. Well, what's funny, Turtle, is that I am once I hit monetization, I have no copyright claims, except for Tom and Nova. Throwing the salt there. I'm kidding. For those 2 ones that I use. And one for Skulls. So it's 3. And then a couple for the competition, but of course everyone figured that would happen. Because nobody owns their beats when they're really, really small time. So, which, neither here nor there. But yeah, I'll be legit ready for once I hit monetization, everything will be able to be monetized, which will be nice. So the $5.38, it'll all come to me. What's up, Amsters? How are you, Amy? What's up? I know who that is. Took me a second. Did you see that I had to click? I was like, wait a minute. Dude, leave me alone. Go. But yeah. Any questions, criticisms, comments, favorite things, not so favorite things, hit me with it. I want to know. What can I do to improve? What can I do to make it better? Is there something that irritates you? Something that you like? I want to know. Inquiring minds. Mind. My inquiring mind wants to know. He's laying on my new quilt. Pouting. I know. You know what? There. Is that better? It just looked weird being in the middle all by its little self. I mean, I could, that's ridiculous, but yeah. See, now I'm, leaning to get away from it. No, it tilts. So, if I do this to keep up with it. Willie, I kind of addressed that earlier, but I mean, it's something and people ask me this all the time. I want to say for the most part, no. However, what's up, Wallflower? However, there could be a situation where that would come up reaction adjacent or a different type. When it comes to recording, editing, and dropping a reaction video, there's a pretty damn good chance it's not happening. And I don't want to say never, because obviously I know tons and tons of reactors, content creators, and artists who might legitimately say, hey, do you mind? Because, for whatever reason. And I'm not going to say that I would never, ever, ever. I'm just saying that is literally, I say no every time, so. I don't understand what's happening with my hair. What is happening with that right now? To fix it. I sound really different when I don't have my headphones on. I sound muffled, and now I take them off and I sound really, really weird. But yeah. And seriously, I'm I know I chopped like 8 inches of it off like not too long ago. Remember when I was like, I'm sick of this, and I cut a whole bunch of it off. I posted pictures. I'm like, what I did. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's pretty badass. I gotta get it over the tatas. Hold on. It takes some doing. Elsewhere, pink, white, black. And then, of course, the back. Which my hair's in the way. It has my name. So, I love this thing. It's so comfy. I was like, if I'm streaming, I want to like rock my shirt. No, but I keep asking and people don't tell me. I ask all the time, and like, if there's a suggestion or a criticism or something that you're like, you know what, every time I'm in there, it seems like this or that, right? Tell me, because I can't ever, and I don't have to take, like, if you said, you know what, I think you should be on that side of the screen and not this side, you could say that, and I'd be like, okay, cool. I don't have to change it. However, knowing that someone's thinking about that, since, you know, people don't leave comments on my videos, so I don't know what they think. Oops. No, I'm just saying, I want criticism. I'll address it. If there's issues, if there's topics, and I see. I just saw my door like open. Do you see that? You guys see it? By the way, where does it? That means I'm live. See? On my door? Right there. Are you coming in or out? Because...
Oh, you can see me? Where's my charger?
It's right here. It's on here somewhere. Will you feed the cat real quick too?
I guess.
No, I don't have any right here. So what it is it's like a dry erase and they're sticky. And so I just put it on the door. And when I'm not live, I put it on the back of the door so it's on my side. So what does that matter? But that way the kids are like, they know better. She's feeding the cat.
I think.
You got it? Here, I got it. Give it here. Sorry, y'all. Real life. Okay.
Did you get good?
It's gooey. Y'all, it's like...
No.
It smells so bad. Watch out. I don't want you to drop it. The hell? That's nasty. Did you see it like jiggled? It looked like tuna that's gone bad. The hell is that shit? Alright, give me a kiss. Alright.
Bye, y'all.
Shoo. Close the door. Bye. TV episode reactions. I don't actually watch TV enough to do that, to be completely honest. Skulls, that was epic. Thank you for that. I'm reading back to what? Oh, yeah. There's no sock on the door handle. My 8-year-old wouldn't know what that meant anyway. The red is just kind of like... If they haven't figured it out by now. What is up with my lighting, y'all? Like, if you're like, you're too orange. Orange woman bad. Right? Oh, geez. Amen tech. So, excuse me for a second while I unblind myself. What the hell? better. Yeah, she was trying to crawl because she's thinking that it's like here, like when the cat's here, you can't see her. I just think it's funny. Oh, am I gonna get fact checked? Y'all are hilarious. I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm lucky enough to have one of the most supportive, badass, friendly communities. Now, I'm not saying anything negative about any other community because you guys know I'm involved in other ones as well, right? That I really rock with and I really love to pieces. However, first off, you gotta be a special type person if you're gonna put up with me on camera or on my voice all the time and the stuff that I like to say. I should just hold this because that looks better. You gotta be a special type of person, and that type of person's like my kind of people because, you know, you don't get offended easy. You really get my jokes, and if you don't, you're not mad about it. Stuff like that. So that's helpful. I'm very supportive. Tend to check out content that you might not. You at least check it out. You're not just gonna dismiss something out the gate. Can take a joke. Can deliver a joke. Now y'all see why Skulls was my co-host with his tuna comment. But I'm just really lucky to have you guys that keep coming back, even if you come back for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour. Jumping in the Discord, checking stuff out, showing up, you know, showing love, stuff like that. It means a lot. I can't get my lighting right. Look at this. You can see the light keeps changing. I'm messing. I'm really trying to be subtle about it, but I'm not. It's not working that great. Trying to move my lighting because I feel like I'm, you know. Aw, Skulls. I love you too. Asshole. When are you gonna get back on here, man? You know, you dropped songs and stuff. There's stuff to talk about. Hell, I'll even play Among Us with you if you want. Amy, absolutely. I want you on. Not even a joke. You just let me know. I usually do Fridays, Saturdays. Just because that way I don't have to get up first thing in the morning and try and squeeze it in, like get off work, run, and then do dinner, and then put kids to bed, and then go to bed and get up and do it all over again. But we'll make it work. For real. And Mom, that's Amy. And Amy, that's my mom. Yeah, Ray. Yeah, that was funny, Turtle. Mark, seriously? I told you. I'm not. I'm being sincere. Being sincere. Is my mom still in here? I get weird at 2 a.m, and I know that, but it's like Vegas, bro. Stop. No, you don't. You weren't there. It's like if you weren't there, you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what you're talking about. Get me grounded? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. I am being sus. And that's okay. I'm owning it. No, but like I said, Skulls, you heard me say it earlier. My intention is to do another competition. And it depends on whether you in truth actually want to be a part of it, or if you want to be a part of which part of it you would want to be a part of, because you guys are obviously my go-tos for something like that out the gate, and then from there I'll go from there to get it set up. I set the last one up, y'all, in 4 days. And I didn't know... Mom, it's true. I'm already in my room. I set the last one up in 4 days, and I didn't know 85% of everybody that was on the rap competition. So, hopefully, this time it'll be a little bit different. We actually know a lot more of the people, but you've got to be unbiased. You can't be biased at all. So, do you want to be involved, like, participate, or involved, like, with my end of it? What's up, Jay? Haven't seen you in a minute. And she's right, I am in my room, so she can't. What's she gonna do to me? Send me to my room? Yes, Mom, every once in a while, when I'm up in the middle of the night, I get tired and go to bed. So, it's a thing. Sorry. Just gonna put a pin in that. It's up there on the board with pin in it. There's no lock on my door. It's just a knob. Wildflower, if she kicks me out of my room, then she's got my kids without me. Ask her if she's gonna kick me out. Ask her. Anonymous, hello. How are you doing? Because you know my mom wants to stay here with my kids without me. Could I change the crown to an angel halo? Oh, you got hacked? That sucks, dude. I think this week has been shit for work. Like, we've been working all the time. If you guys have noticed, The Truth hasn't been live. He has been busy. He's got a lot of stuff going on. So it is what it is. But I've talked to him every day, so he's okay. So if anybody was curious, he's doing good. Jay, you see, that would say that I had time to go watch videos, which I generally don't. At least today I haven't. So I just got a notification. Blindside's live. That's nice. On Instagram. I should jump on his live and tell him to get his ass in here. Just kidding. I'm gonna do that to him. What was I gonna say? Oh, out of curiosity, there's like 17 people in here. I want to know, honestly, I don't care how old, how new, I don't care how recent. What was your favorite? What has been your favorite podcast that you can remember? I know some of you haven't seen as many as other people have. Either something that you really liked, you liked the way it turned out, you thought it was a good conversation, or if you want more like it, or favorite type, anything of that nature. I want to know. I just realized I found it. Oh, look, I just made my camera go wonky. That was fun. Yeah, she would kick me out of the room. I don't know what I would do with myself, because I spend 90% of my entire week here. Well, if y'all are going to talk at once. Ramis, I understand that. And see, there's two dynamics to that. The dynamics about being on video. Number one, the intention is and always has been for this to be a podcast, to be, especially when I have a guest on, specifically, and that's why I don't talk as much to the chat. I don't talk to the chat as much. It's not because I'm ignoring or I don't see it, because I'm watching it the entire time. That's why I leave it on the screen so other people can see it. However, It's about the conversation. And so, again, sorry about that. My intention was to put it onto like Spotify or a podcast site, like audio only, eventually. So if I'm on screen and I'm doing something on screen and then people are like, oh, I wonder what they're doing. So it was intended to be audio. However, I know that YouTube, people want something to look at. But I have a lot of people that listen after they just pop their earbuds in and they go about their business and they listen the next day. Specifically, oh God, that would be the very first podcast, my first guest, which was Truth No Lie. And let's see what else we got here. Ivy Asher was awesome. I love her. She still pops into the Discord and says hi once in a while too. She's pretty badass. We had a lot of fun. Keto, yeah, I want Keto back on, but he's making some big moves. He's doing some big things, so I totally respect that. And I won't lie to you, I haven't even asked him. I've let him know that he's welcome. However, I have not specifically asked him, knowing what he is dealing with, what's going on with him right now, all the different stuff. He's making some serious boss moves right now. Alpha Tyler, of course, Jay. Alpha Tyler, that one was fun. That one started off with corn. That was great. Rachel Geek mental health one, that one was fire. Rachel Geek has been doing her thing recently. She has been focusing, first of all, on herself. She had that injury, which, you know, with if anybody that was in the mental health one with Rachel Geek, you are aware of some of her issues. However, like I said, real life is above and beyond online at all times. She needs to take care of herself. And she was healing. She had the injury, surgery, all that fun stuff. So, plus she was performing. She was going to performances. She's recently come back around a little bit. And hopefully we'll see her on again soon. But she's definitely somebody who has an open door to be on here whenever they want. Yeah, the OG podcast. Nick. Oh, God, that one, yeah. That one was fun. When they came to visit me here in Texas. That one was wild. And then it went into Discord. It was a whole thing. Fiona, no, that one was after the fact. The very first podcast with a guest, which was me, Skulls, and Truth. That one was where that came up. And then actually, I think Skulls was drawing a map, which we posted in Discord, so good luck finding that, because that was a year ago. Yeah, dude, you're like, I had to call my wife to come get me, bro. We had six reactors come through and jump on with us during that live. That was really cool. That was towards the very beginning. There were some of the really good ones. But, you know, I've heard a lot of people say they liked some of the original ones, which I agree with, which is basically cutting it up, shooting the shit, that kind of thing. I can do that more with people that we know. I can do that more with, you know, True Skulls, Nick, Jen. But when it comes to somebody who's not used to the YouTube platform, that's not something I can usually do in that way. And I know I've had people make comments for and against going back to kind of that format where it's like we're just sitting there like a bunch of friends in a voice chat just talking, which was kind of the intent at the time. I still like to have cool guests on, and I don't handle those the same way because they don't know me like that. That's the God's honest truth. They don't know me like that. So I have no expectation of them just sitting here and be like, fuck you. And they're like, excuse me? And I'm like, you know. I have had Mr. L. Boyd, absolutely. Not too long ago, actually. Um, hmm. Are you saying reactors that I want to have on? That I haven't. Are you saying like I haven't reached out to yet, or can you clarify that? There's a lot of people I have reached out to that I have not heard back from at all, and that some of them are because I'm not on their like bestie friends list, and so I show up in those random messages like the ones I get that I ignore. Oops. Or do you mean? Because I mean, if I don't know them, then I probably don't know to ask for them. I believe so. I think he was in the U.S. at the time. Yeah, he was in the U.S. I think he was. I don't remember where, but he was here in the United States. And what's really awesome about Mr. L. Boyd is he reached out to me because I had asked him back February, March, something like that. And he had said, "Oh, well, that sounds really cool. Like, that sounds great. Let me get back with you." And all of a sudden, what's up, Craig? All of a sudden, I get a message from him months later, and he's like, "I didn't forget." I'm like, "Wow, okay." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm sorry, but I did not forget, and let's make it happen." So that's why I like did 4 podcasts, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday that weekend. So because I fit him in. I'm like, "Oh, Mr. Elwood wants to come on. Let's go." He's awesome. He's so smart. He's an amazing photographer. If you've not seen his photography, you're missing out. You need to check it out. And I'm pretty sure that link was posted many, many, many times during that podcast. So. Yeah, I ask people all the time. Like, what's funny is that some people like to suggest literally unattainable people, right? I'm not going to reach out to Tech9 and get him on, guys. That makes no sense. Of course I'm not going to, right? It just is what it is. There's just some people that, I don't have enough of a following. I don't have enough of a history background for them to look into and figure out that, because he's never going to see my message, hon. They're never going to put me through. There's some boxes that need to be ticked before, like, some of the larger people with huge companies and huge, like, do you know how many messages they get? I mean, come on. It's a lot. No, Eminem's not coming on. And to be honest, I just don't want that smoke either. Like, shit. I mean, anybody, I don't care who you are. My mom would do it. If they're like, "Hey, I'll come talk to you today," we would all be like, "Buy a camera, buy a computer, we're doing this." Any of us. In fact, we will create an entire channel just for that. Like, any of us would. It'd be stupid not to. No, that chat, you would just be like, you would just sit back like this and just watch the show. That's simple. It would fly. But if it was on my channel, it wouldn't fly, which is funny because you have people who have their channels fly when they're on, but when they're on mine, people don't know. And so it doesn't do that. I've never had my chat go, except during the competition where people are just doing flame emojis. But yeah. But my point is more like, people are like, "Oh, you should get Trump on. You should get Candace Owen on." Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure she's gonna want to be on here to further her campaign. Come on now. Like, unattainable stuff. Like, realistic stuff. Yeah, exactly. Whenever I get into a chat that's flying like that, I literally post "wee" and let it fly. Every time. I just post wee. To me, that it makes me happy. Because I know nobody's going to see it, and there might be an off chance that somebody catches that someone wrote "we" in the chat, and then watches it just go, and they're like, "Ha, that makes sense." Just saying. I actually reached out to Donald Trump Jr. Said, "Hey, you want to be on?" There's no way in hell he's going to see that message. Come on now. I tend to reach out to people on like Instagram. I'd send them messages. However, there are other avenues to reach out to people that I don't necessarily pursue because I actually don't have time. Like, I don't have time. I don't check my regular email. I'm not going to check my like business email and constantly follow up and stuff like that. Like, I just don't. There's only so many hours in every single day. Who I would want to talk to? Are you talking about people that I know, though, that I wish I could get on? There's a lot, man. Reactors, though? There's some. But I kind of have narrowed my core group of the people I really, 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 really rock with. And most of them have been on. Whoever. Off the top of my head, I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. And there's so many that I would like. Or somebody I would love to have on. I mean, shit. I would love to have, Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki on. Are you kidding me? Or Misha. Come on. I'd love that. I mean, why not? Any rappers? I've had a bunch. To be honest, yeah. But I mean, there's so many. You have to understand there's tons of people that I respect that I would love to have on. And what's funny is that when I get a wild hair and I think about it, I usually reach out to them. Because every once in a while, oh, champagne, no, let's do it. I'm not even playing with you, let's do it. I always slow down around month end, and this last week was month end. So I go kind of blank, and then I'm going to start booking again. So that would be awesome. I've not asked Tom to come on. I haven't asked him. So. I mean, I had Mises, and I have a couple others that are getting back with me that are awesome to me, at least. Nova would be cool. And you do understand that some of this I can't always talk about, not all of it. Like I said, I have not reached out to Tom. I have not asked Tom to be on. Obviously, I know Nova, so she knows I do a podcast. Because we have conflicting time all the time where she goes live and I go live. I'm like, damn. Because I can't be there. Who, Tom being on Jen's channel? I love Jen. I was just talking to her last night, something like that. But here's the thing. If there are people there's a difference between people I'm booking, people I'm talking to, and people that are like, so what do we need to do? But they haven't locked in a date. And until someone locks in a date and then approves the graphic that I'm going to use, I don't tell anybody. Because it's not only counting your chickens before they hatch, but also something could come up where they can't do it, or they back out, or maybe something comes up where they have an alternate path they need to take, or whatever the case may be, and I don't want to, like, none of us are stuck, if that makes sense. Oh, I know that Tom has seen Jen's reactions. I know he has. Oh. At XMC, he's awesome. He's been on twice. Technically 3 times if you count the St. Patty's Day after party. Because, see, like, there are people that I would like to have on, but however, there are people that people would go, oh my God, you know, in general, that have said they would, but they're not locked in. And until that happens, I'm not going to sit there and pretend and tell people, oh, I'm going to have so-and-so on, because that's rude. And if it falls through, it makes me look like an asshole. And if I go tell people before they actually locked it in, why would they want to work with me, right? Just a thought. What would I do if I won $1 million, 10 million, or 100 million? If I won $1 million, well, probably buy a house. No, what I would do is I'd pay off all my debt first and foremost. Pay off every debt that I ever have. I would throw 50% of it into savings of some sort, or investments. Not, and I'd take like 3% of it, and I would just like go crazy. And then the rest I would probably just split up and like have my bills paid for a year. I mean, I'm thinking like 100,000 versus like $1 million. $1 million? Yeah, I'd definitely buy a house or 2. 10 million? That's like money that I can't even dream of. 100 million? Yeah, I'm not even going to address that one. That one I would like literally go insane. I probably wouldn't make it. What's up, Nico? I probably wouldn't make it long for this world. I would like be going insane. I would be traveling all over. I would buy like a jet. I would do all kinds of stuff. Give it to my mom. Send her on vacation. Put my kid in boarding school. Travel. Buy really cool stuff. I really don't have a lot of aspirations when it comes to a lot of money. Buy name brand chips. I appreciate that, Wallflower. I pride myself on doing all my own hooking myself up. Does that make sense? Start a reverse harem. Quite likely, Scuba. Quite likely. I pride myself on doing all of the legwork myself. I am a small enough channel. I have no excuse to not do it myself. I have no excuse not to be the person that somebody talks to. Because that's going to be the only... I'm not going to lie. That's one of the main chances I'm going to have that somebody's going to take an interest in what I'm doing. Is because I am doing it myself, and I am reaching out myself, and I'm being sincere, and I am exactly who I say I am, and if that makes sense. So, having 500 subscribers, I mean, I cannot justify a team, like a promotion team and stuff. It cracks me up. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it cracks me up to see some of these content creators, artists and stuff that have like an entire production team, and they have like, 1,000 Instagram followers and like 2 videos, and you're like, and they're like, oh, well, they have ads out. I'm like, wow, okay. Putting the cart before the horse a little bit, but okay, cool. I just feel like that's kind of an appeal that I have, is that, like, I don't have like a full-blown studio. I'm just me, and I'm doing it myself, and it's kind of an aspect of... Oh, I get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying. I don't write emails. And to be honest, taking on anything else and above and beyond what I'm doing at this moment is going to be pretty hard. I'm trying to balance the dynamic, with my kids and everything. Once I get that kind of balanced out a little bit better, then I can start really pushing it. Like I said, 3 weeks out of the month. But what I'm afraid of and what happens to me is I make a push and I start inviting people and I start talking to people and I start asking them. Number one, people assume that if I say that they have good music and that I have a podcast, that I'm literally asking them to be on. That's not true. I can say they're a good artist. They ask me about the podcast. I tell them about it. That's not me asking them to jump on. The other thing that happens is I start getting a bunch of answers all at once, and they all kind of want the same time frame, and then I get overbooked and I get burnt out really, really bad. Is that why you do it, Turtle? Because I saw you call him Uncle Ray. That's hilarious. That's a really good anecdote. I dig that. I dig that a lot. Now, I don't want to keep you guys forever, honestly. And if you guys have anything else, any suggestions, any thoughts, any comments, if you have any questions, jump Discord or DM me or drop a comment, because that helps me. And like I said, I don't want to keep anybody too much longer. It's been like 2 hours. It's ridiculous. I can talk for 2 hours. Who knew? But yeah, I really do value input for good, bad, or indifferent. Now, if you're going to do what somebody did today, I was really proud. I was like, oh, wow, another hater. I'm so excited. I actually commented on Mises' newest song. And then somebody below that commented something about white women are trash. I'm like, oh, that was nice. I didn't say anything. And the next thing he put was Dusty. And then he put something on one of my community posts and says Dusty. I'm like, okay, boost my algorithm, buddy. The fuck? Shit like that, you can refrain. But anything else that's constructive or helpful or what you like or didn't like, please, 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 let me know. No, Wallflower, I really, really, really appreciate that. Honestly. But yeah, I'm probably going to let y'all go so I can wind down. Last time, anytime I stay up, and I'm talking still at 10:30, 11 o'clock my time, I pretty much don't go to bed till 3 or 4. And it's ridiculous. So, oh. Thank you. Champagne Rain, tip $25. Gotta run, feeling puny. I'll DM you soon. Appreciate you, sweetheart. Yeah, definitely DM me. Anytime. We can get that in pretty quick because I'm pretty open except for next Saturday. So we'll do that. And I'm excited. That's one that I am so stoked for. People aren't even going to see that one coming. That's going to be so awesome. I can't wait. But no, thank you guys. Thank you everybody for coming. I love you guys. I hope this is what y'all were hoping for when you asked for me to come on here and just be. Hope you aren't disappointed. That sounded wrong. That sounded really self-depreciating. That's not what I meant. I meant hopefully the content was what you were hoping for. If not, drop a comment. Say, actually, I was looking for this. Let's do that. But yeah, definitely join the Discord. Hit us up. Love you guys. Stay tuned. Next one is Saturday. It is Cliff Beats is back. And it's gonna be midday, and it's gonna be I think we're shooting for 2 to 3 hours. I mean, we're wanting to actually get down into it, so I can't wait. We're excited. But y'all have a great night. Go enjoy your Saturday. Make good choices, or don't. If anything crazy happens, let me know.